Okay guys, so here's another example. I'm going to do the second one, part B, which is kind of more complicated, and I'll leave the rest to you guys so you can do part C. I'm trying to understand by watching what I have done. So let's first find the constant C, and we know that the constant C is, we first have to do, is 316 times x squared. But we know that it goes from negative c to c, so with the integral from negative c to c of 316 x squared. And what would that equal to? Well, that would equal to the, when you add 1 to add 1 to 2, that would be x cubed. Come on. That would be x cubed, and divide by 3, that would be 1 over 16. So from negative c all the way to c, and that would equal to what? Now, that would equal to c cubed over 16 minus c cubed, which is positive c cubed, over 16. And that would equal to 1, because that's the probability of everything equals to 1. So that would equal to 2c cubed over 16, which would equal to c cubed over 8, and that equals to 1. So c cubed equals to 8, therefore c equals to 2. And then the PDF now would be what? The PDF would be the integral from negative 2 all the way to 2, and that would be 316 x squared. That would be your PDF now. So let me actually write that 2 better. That'll be negative 2 here. So now CDF. The CDF now is, we know that CDF is the other part of this thing, the function. So instead of that, I would have the integral we would have the integral from negative x all the way to x, because we replace the c by x, 316 t squared and dt. And what would that equal to? Well, that would equal to the same thing as t cubed over 16 from negative x to x. And that would equal to x cubed over 16 plus x cubed over 16, which is equal to x cubed over 8. Now, I'm going to write the CDF. How do you write the CDF? The CDF will be written as follows, always 3 parts. First, it will be 0, but it will be 0 in here when x is less than negative 2. And it will be x cubed over 8 when negative 2 is less than or equal to x less than 2. And it will be 1 when 2 is less than or equal to x. That's your CDF now. That's your CDF. And mu, which now mu is the integral of x times x, f of x, so that will be 316, that's negative 2 all the way to 2, x times x will be x cubed, and dx, and you guys can find that. You can do that by yourself. And sigma squared would be the integral from negative 2 all the way to 2 of 316 x times x2 times x2, which is x4, and you can find that. So how are we going to graph this now? So let me pull up my calculator here. How are we going to graph this? Let's see. We are going to click on that green button and F1 and type in the PDF, which is 3/16. So that would be 3 over 16. We know that equals to I think it's 0.187. I'm assuming. Yes, 0.187. So 0.1875 divided by times x squared. That means x squared, x to the power of 2. And okay, enter, and let's just graph this, and that's how it would be. Now I'm going to change the graph, the window from -2. I put -2.5 instead, 2.75. Come on. 2.75, and now let's graph again, and here we go. So let's see how it looks like from -2 to 2. So we click on F5, table F5 here, and click on number 7, and lower limit is -2. So -2, enter. Upper limit is +2, enter, and there is your graph right here. This is your graph right here. This is your graph. So basically, below from -2 here, there will be a straight line on the x-axis, which is 0, all the way to infinity, and from here, it will be a straight line all the way to infinity, which is 1. So how are we going to graph the CDF now? Let's graph the CDF. The CDF will be the second part that we found, which is x 1/8. 1/8 is 0.125, so 0.125 x to the power of 3. Let's see. Did I? Oh yeah, right. X power of 3. That's right. Or is it power of 3 or power of 2? No, it's actually x to the power of 3. That's right. X to the power of 3. So x power of 3, and then enter. So now we would get, let's graph this. It's same again from -2 to 2. Actually, let me make the window bigger. Now I'm going to -4 and click enter. Okay, and let's do graph again. Okay, and let me, I know what to do now. I have to make the y part y from -3, and graph. Here we go. So this graph goes from, we know that, click on number 7, it goes from -2, and upper limit is 2. So this is how it shows now. And this is your graph right here. And again, from here, it will be a straight line 0, and from here on top at 1, from 1 here, it goes all the way to infinity. So this is how the graph would look like in your calculator. And I believe I didn't make any mistake in my calculation, and if it's right, then I guess it is, or it is true what I wrote. So guys, I hope you guys understand, and thank you for watching the video. Other than that, have a good day.